Welcome to Masters of Self University podcast, your highest source of sacred truths and universal wisdom. Hello, beautiful souls. I'm Rachel Fiori, mystic, spiritual teacher, psychic healer, and founder of Masters of Self University. Join our journey of soul transformation as we deep dive into this latest episode. Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to Masters of Self University podcast. I'm your host for this episode, Rachel Fiori. Welcome, listeners. I want to talk about the TikTok ban, the potential TikTok ban, that is. I'm sure many of you have gotten a glimpse of what is going on with a potential ban of TikTok. And I wanted to do a short podcast episode and talk about this because there is a lot more to this than some realize. And there is so much to this that I think most of you realize why the actual potential threat of a ban of TikTok is going on. I want to talk about that today. Of course, being a little careful with what I say. So let's talk about how embarrassed I am to have people in our United States government that are supposed to represent us. And I'm going to say very clearly right now that they do not. It is embarrassing to see the congressional hearings and how the CEO of TikTok is being treated with all of our third dimensional programming of bullying, bulldozing, domination, ask a question, give him zero time to answer a question, even though they specifically asked him a question and expect an answer, and then talk over him and answer for him. If anybody has watched any of this at all, it's worth taking 5 or 10 minutes and paying attention to it and watching a little bit of how we like to treat other people that we are accusing of certain things and saying they are a threat, and then watching all of the programs of domination, of ignorance. Oh my God, if any of those people could have just been taught and had a tutorial for 1 hour on this app, on this social media platform, to actually learn something before they showed up for this, would have done them justice. It would have helped them. It was embarrassing how this man was treated, and it's disgusting how this person was treated. So to the CEO of TikTok, Shu, that is not representative of the American people. I know you live here, and I know you probably know that, but I want you to hear it from someone else. And I want us all to shout from the rooftops that what is happening is something that goes way deeper and way darker and way more evil than what we may be seeing on the surface. Oh, there's some concern for our data collection is, of course, the mask that they're going to wear to justify banning a platform where people from all over the globe are coming together in unity, that there is a spiritual awakening, a massive shift and transformation and awakening happening on this platform. So let's talk about that for a minute, because that's what's really key and really important to understand. Is I will say this. I'm going to tell you my own little personal experience with TikTok and why I refused to be on it for a long time. I would not go on that platform. And I wouldn't go on that platform for a while because I saw the level of consciousness on it, and it was appalling and scary to me. Like, I was horrified when I first saw that platform, kind of exploding, that there were people on there that I had so much hope for humanity to move through this global massive awakening and, transformation in consciousness. And then to see a platform where it seemed to be the extreme opposite, because that's honestly the beginning of TikTok was just, without getting too negative, because I don't want it to come across as judgment, because it's not. I'm not judging, but What I observed was like the lowest of the low level of consciousness on that platform. And I refused to let my energy be a part of that matrix. I didn't want my energy entangled in a matrix that, somebody has 300 million followers because they squint and stare at the camera and then bite their lip. And there, boom, millions and millions of, like, that's what we're following. And in the younger generations, I honestly, I started to feel hopelessness for this planet and for humanity for a while when I saw what TikTok was, because that kind of shit, the materialism, the here's how you put your makeup on, here's the eyelashes you should be wearing, and here are the best ones, like the superficiality, the lack of consciousness. And again, I am not saying it from judgment. Just because you observe something doesn't mean you're judging it. Just because you speak about something you're observing doesn't mean you're judging it. So don't come at me. It shows your level of consciousness if you're coming at me, projecting onto me that I am judging this shit. I'm not judging it. I'm sharing what I observed and why I refuse to be a part of it for a long time. These are the reasons why I refuse to be a part of it, is because I saw what was exploding on this platform, and none of it was hope for humanity to awaken, to unite, to heal, to elevate, to come together in unity and oneness. None of it. I saw like none of that. It was more separation and hate and darkness and evil. Like I saw that. That's what I observed. And then as my social media liaison for myself, for Masters of Self University, my manager for myself is, as you all know, she's one of the hosts of the show. She's a certified mystical life coach. Ellie Lee was telling me, why are you not on TikTok? You have to get on TikTok. And that's part of where we need to get. People need to hear your teachings. They're ready. Like they need to hear you. And I understood why she made that recommendation. And when I felt into it, because everything I choose to do is divine guidance that comes from my spiritual self. And when I felt into it, I could still feel the ick and the uck and the darkness. But I also felt like, okay, it's time. Yes, do it. And so, of course, like 150 million Americans. And I don't know how many globally are on this app. I only know there's 150 million Americans. So hello to everybody all over the world. I got on it and started to use that as one of my social media platforms. And let me tell you what I have also witnessed and observed over the past year on TikTok. And oh my God, the closer we get, the past 8 months, and then the past 6 months, and then the past 3 months, I am seeing and observing this incredible, massive, massive global shift of unity and awakening and healing happening on this social media platform, on this app. Like I have never in my life witnessed before on any one particular platform. I am noticing more of an honest, algorithm when people don't have to pay money in order to have their all that. I don't want to go into it because I don't want this to be freaking removed when we post this podcast because I think this is important to talk about. So I'm going to try to speak a little bit in generalities, but I think y'all know what I'm talking about, hopefully. That the algorithms on there are different because they're more honest, they're organic. There's a lot of unity where people can connect. Humans themselves are the ones who are either dark and evil, unconscious, have negative intentions, are predators, are trolls. Those are people. That's not an app. Humans themselves are the ones who choose to heal, to awaken, to elevate, to become divine and powerful and unite and heal separation and heal the disgusting misogyny that still exists all over the fucking world, to heal the disgusting racism and other programs of separation and prejudices that exist everywhere. It's our choice. It's us. We humans are those things. We choose to show up in a certain way. And no matter what platform exists, no matter what app exists for us to be a part of, we take us wherever we go. You take you wherever you go. Wherever you go, there you are. That means whoever you are choosing to be in this lifetime is what you're going to infuse and offer energetically, behaviorally on any app or any social media platform. It isn't the platform itself. It is the people who participate in that platform. And of course, to a degree, it is the people who created the platform to begin with. Of course, they're still people. All people, their intentions, their energies are what create what you see and experience on that particular platform. Think about that. Having said that, I don't care if a group of the most enlightened people in the world create an app that goes viral and hundreds of millions of people jump on it. People are still going to bring the darkness with them, the evil with them, because that's their choice in how they're showing up in the world. They will contaminate a platform with it. But there is also the people of the light, the people who are willing to go into the darkness and alchemize it, the people who don't buy the bullshit brainwashing in governments and the world anymore, programs of separation anymore, programs that keep us apart, that pretend like some, illness flying around the world. They're going to use that against us to scare people into being even more separated, to hate each other, to oppose each other, to fight each other more. And isn't it incredible amidst all of this uprising, all of the upheaval of all the evil, all the corruption, all the darkness, all the cheating, all the stealing on every level, individual to mass, to global, to governments, to countries, to nations, all of the darkness is being brought to the surface. And in the midst, because we're going through a global transformation. And in the midst of all of that, this one platform, this one social media platform starts to be infiltrated with beings, warriors of the light, spiritual warriors, people who aren't going to fucking tolerate the goddamn toxic patriarchy, the abuse, the misogyny in this world ever again, who are not going to tolerate racism ever again. No more are we tolerating this crap. No more are we showing up like this as a human, as an individual, and as a global collective society. This is the unity that leads us to oneness consciousness. And that is what I have seen happen, explode open on TikTok the past year, 8 months, 6 months. I have seen this explode open. And because I have watched this, witnessed this explode open, people uniting and coming together, men, women coming together from all over the world in love, in support, in waking up and breaking free from the brainwashing, the control, the media that is controlled by a select few and controls and dictates what you're able to see and not see. No transparency there. But people, boots on the ground, they are recording things now because of technology, and they're sharing in real time the truth of certain scenarios around the world. They're sharing in real time what is happening in meetings behind closed doors. They're sharing truth. Most of you that listen to this podcast and most of you that listen to me as a spiritual teacher know that I teach oneness consciousness teachings, and that includes the 20 universal ways of oneness. Okay? If you don't know what that is, go check the book out. You can get the book on the 20 universal ways of oneness on Amazon. I highly encourage that you read that book. If you understand what oneness consciousness is, or at least are willing to begin to understand what oneness consciousness actually is, what will lead us there is a step, a process that happens that will elevate us into oneness consciousness. And that elevation, that step that we have to achieve first before we can get to such an elevated level of consciousness, which is oneness, is unity. Unity has to happen first. And what I have witnessed over the past year is there has been an explosion of unity. And when there's an explosion of unity, there is also the upheaval of all of the separation programs that come with that, because that has to be exposed and brought to the light in order for that to be transformed. And in order to transform it, you have to see it, you have to know about it. And guess what? I have seen more on this app than any other one that exists. The bringing to the surface the darkness, the evil, the corruption, the lies, the control, the brainwashing, all of it. I have seen this brought to the surface, brought to the service. I have seen this exposed over and over again, especially over this past year, as I've watched this platform grow and explode. And what I have also witnessed is the coming together of so many millions of people from all over the world, no matter what their ethnicity is, no matter what their gender is, no matter what their skin color is, no matter what their beliefs are. I have seen people from all over the world come together in so many ways, in so many beautiful ways, in unity. People are uniting together. And that makes us who unite, and not unite out of hate, not unite out of only us who are a certain, belief, that we believe in a certain something, the same thing, or we are the same skin color, or we are the same religion, or we are the same. Those are programs of separation. That's separation, separation, separation. That's the shit that needs to go away. That there's no more exclusion. I have seen an inclusion, a unity, a unifying of people from all different backgrounds, from all different languages, all different everything from all over the world. People really are uniting together. They're coming together. They are dissolving programs of separation. They are learning from their differences. They are learning from their mistakes and their ignorance. They're learning from one another. More and more people are becoming open, willing to grow, willing to heal, willing to look at their own darkness and their own shit that they still need to heal within themselves in order to be a unified people. And when I say people, I really mean unified with all beings on this planet everywhere, because that's a level of oneness consciousness. That's an example of oneness consciousness. We can't be united in, say, compassion or unconditional love or loyalty or responsibility or harmlessness and gentleness, all examples of the universal ways of oneness. We cannot unite in those ways if we are not willing to grow, if we're not willing to elevate, if we're not willing to allow the old us, the egoic self, who we once were, who we were yesterday or last year or 5 years ago. We have to let that version of ourselves die. That is the death rebirth cycle. And I am seeing more and more people who have used this app, have used this platform as a platform to educate themselves, as a platform to open themselves to learning more, to elevating higher, to connecting with people in a healthier way. The way of connection is one of the ways of oneness, right? But understand that you're never not connected. Everybody is connected all of the time to everything and everyone, whether you know it or not, understand it or not. On an energetic level, we are always connected. We're not really disconnected. Not really. Okay. But we have learned for centuries to connect from our wounds, from our darkness, from our programs of inferior superiority, like the inferiority, the superiority, that's inequality programs. We have learned to connect from a place of bias, from a place of prejudice. We have learned to connect in dysfunction, from a place of codependency. We've learned to connect from a place of neediness. We've learned to connect in romantic relationships from creating a parent-child relationship, even though it's a romantic relationship, it's supposed to be a romantic partnership. We have learned to connect in such unhealthy, dysfunctional ways from programs, wounds, trauma bonding. We've learned to connect from a level of spiritual and emotional extreme immaturity with low levels of emotional IQ. Like, we've been connecting like that for hundreds of years, thousands, really. And the truth is, so many of us have woken up and are currently waking up. And I think more and more people are moving through a spiritual awakening on the reg. I wish to God I somehow intuitively knew how many people a day across the globe were spiritually awakening. And we had that left brain statistic, because it would be a fun one to explore. I wish we had that answer. But my God, I think there's an ungodly amount of people every day that are actually awakening and starting their awakening journey. And they're understanding that being dominated, being controlled, being forced, being oppressed, being forced into submission or oppression because of the policies, the control, the laws that are not laws that come from oneness. We don't live by universal truths. We live by agendas and propaganda and who's going to fill my pockets and buy me. We're not honored and respected as people from our government officials. They don't represent who we are. I think a very small percentage of them are doing their best, and they do, but they're completely outnumbered by all of the people who are not awakened, loving, wonderful people. Who Those are the types of people who should be in a governing body and forming and creating and upholding the standards of a governing body of any nation, state, country, region. Um, so when you really look at these things, okay, and you understand that all of this is what's happening in the world right now, you can understand why a particular government would want to ban a social media platform, because it wants to shatter the unity. It wants to break down our healthy ways of connecting. You see, when we connect via fear, oh my God, we're all going to die, it's the apocalypse. When we're connecting, remember I said there's no such thing as not connecting? We're creating separation programs, but we are still, in a way, negatively connecting out of fear, out of control, out of judgment, out of fighting, opposing one another, all of the opposite of what oneness consciousness is. And with TikTok, like I've mentioned now several times, over the past year, especially the past year, I have seen a blossoming. I have seen an absolute boom, an explosion in people who are no longer tolerating domination, control, misogyny, racism, separation, inequality, no longer tolerating on any level, treating other people in harmful, unloving ways. Unity, love, acceptance, the way of patience, the way of responsibility, the way of compassion, the way of harmlessness and gentleness, the way of unconditional love, etc., etc., etc. All of the universal ways of oneness. I am seeing people waking up to this. And this is precisely why it is such a threat. It is precisely why it is so scary and damaging to the powers that be, who want us to not awaken and be independent and be sovereign beings. Think about how much progress we are making as a collective when a social media platform such as this is actually in threat of being banned. Why do they want to ban it? Why are they trying to ban it? Look at how far we've come. That is a reflection of our progress in waking up. That is a reflection of our progress. That is a reflection of us actually coming together in unity with at least some degree of oneness consciousness, in support of one another and uplifting one another, in waking up and freeing ourselves from the control, the matrix that is a third dimensional paradigm, and instead coming together and realizing there are way more ways to heal ourselves. We don't have to be trapped in a system that promotes sickness. And that's just one example of hundreds of examples that I could give. That we can actually put our money and our resources into people who are here to help heal and uplift and educate and elevate us versus putting our resources and our money into systems that are filled with separation, with biases, with prejudices, with racism, with misogyny. We don't need to put our money and our attention on our system. We don't need to participate in those things anymore. We can actually go over here and we can fuel and create abundance for the people who are educating us from a place of divinity. And I'm not talking about any religion. Educating us from a place of oneness consciousness, educating us from a place of freedom. We can put our money and our resources and our efforts and our time and our attention onto people who actually have our best interest at heart. And the more powerful we become and unify in that way, the more powerful we are at tearing down systems and dismantling systems from the inside out that do not have our best interest at hand. Some of you already know that I left Western healthcare system and started my own corporation and went out on my own, started my own business. And the reason why I did that was because I became a therapist because my whole intention was because I was healing myself so profoundly. I wanted to be able to quote unquote heal other people and help them heal and elevate themselves. And I thought ignorantly, but my path was perfect. My path wasn't wrong. I needed to get the exposure and see firsthand. This is a sickness system. This is not a system of wellness. This is a system that traps people in it, where their mental health, their emotional well-being, and their physical well-being is dependent upon a system that needs them to be sick in order for us to make money. Whereas I believe we should be putting our money and resources into the systems, the people who can help heal and elevate us and lead us and guide us into becoming healed, to becoming whole, to becoming self-empowered, to connect us to our power and learn how to actually heal ourselves, to learn when we are not healed. Why? What is really going on all levels, not just the physical. The physical is the last place the symptoms show up. Right? The fact that TikTok is a platform where everybody can come together and start focusing on how really horrible the environment is, how we are being poisoned everywhere, left and right, no matter where you turn, the water you drink, the food you eat, no matter where you go, you're being poisoned. You can be the healthiest person, and yet you still have poison flowing through you. No matter how enlightened you are, no matter how pure the water it is that you finally found that you can drink, no matter if you're, how many people can 100% grow their own food? And I mean 100% grow your own food and sustain enough and grow enough to actually live off of. Well, guess what? TikTok is a platform where you can at least start to learn how to do that. But my point is, it isn't easy. And how many people can do that and have the time and energy to do that when they have to have the time and energy to do other things to earn money and make a living? Do you understand? Or when that's not your sole purpose, do you have the time and effort and energy to pour into that particular thing? Do you see? All of these issues are what are being discussed, supported. All of the tips, well, you could start here. Actually, you can grow a lot of your food inside if you have the right lights, and here's how you do it. This is the beautiful part about what TikTok has brought so many people together to say, if you can't afford what is going on in the grocery stores and you want to start to grow your own, here's how. And it doesn't have to be a garden outside. You succumb to the elements, of course. But can you at least grow part of your food either in a garden outside or under these particular lights, and here's how you do it, and blah, blah, blah. All of that beautiful stuff can be found on this app. So people at least have a place to start to make change, real change in their own lives. And then we really go through a food shortage, which is being predicted for us. Start growing now. Start doing things now, those of you that can. And guess what? How? Go on TikTok. Search it. You'll find how like this. That's the beauty of this app. And that is precisely why it is in threat of being banned. Because if you're not dependent on the grocery stores and the skyrocketing prices and the inflation that's happening that force you to stay in poverty because you can't afford your goddamn food to put on the table, our entire system and how it functions and how it entraps people is being exposed. Now you know why there is a threat to ban TikTok. So, what do we do if it gets banned? What do we do if it gets banned? First of all, let me say this. We have come too far and we have made too much progress. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here. Pat yourselves on the back for all of you who are healing, who are awakening, who are elevating, who are looking at their programs, your wounds, your shadow self, every aspect of you that needs to be elevated to a higher level of consciousness. Pat yourself on the back. You're doing it. We are making enough progress to be scary to the government of the United States of America. United is in the word, ironically. What a hypocrisy to call this country united when all that is created is separation. Separation, inequality. Every single month, I have to look around with wide eyes like a deer in headlights of what the hell rights as a woman are being taken away this month and how many states are taking away my rights as a woman and is my state next. That's constant right now. As a woman, you're under threat everywhere. Look at the globe. Look around the globe. This is a country where we're united? Isn't it incredible that a social media app can unite us more than a country that calls itself, in the name, united? That's why it's such a threat. Because a freaking app, a social media platform can achieve what this country has yet been able to achieve. The United States government should be ashamed of themselves. It is embarrassing what they are doing and how they are conducting themselves. And all I can say to everybody listening, keep going, keep uniting, keep coming together, keep healing, keep loving each other, keep creating unity, because that unity will lead us to oneness. And that's where the power is. And I'm not talking about force, power, the way that word is used out there unconsciously for the last centuries, however many centuries it's been, where we force and we dominate and control. I'm talking about divine power, because the more we unite together, the more power we have to dismantle all of the corruption, all of the everything in our systems that need to go. We are now entering into the new golden age of harmony. We are. The age of Aquarius is upon us. It has started. And the age of Aquarius is a completely different energetic dimension, place, space that we will be experiencing. But the new golden age of harmony, which I don't refer to our new age as Aquarius, it is accurately. However, I call it the new golden age of harmony because the golden age and harmony, the 20th way of oneness of the universal ways of oneness, is the way of harmony. And that is where we need to be to create the golden age. Understand, the age of Aquarius is here, but the new golden age of harmony isn't here yet. Why? Because it's the age that we create. During the age of Aquarius, we, as co-creators, as divine beings having a human experience, we are supposed to unite together and elevate to oneness consciousness. That is what we are supposed to do. That, us, we, by uniting together, we, by showing up in responsibility, patience, truth, presence, compassion, divine connection, harmlessness and gentleness, equality, trust, honoring, selfless service, loyalty, unconditional love, humility, integrity, forgiveness, purity, wisdom, harmony. When we can achieve that and we can become that for one another and for every being on this planet, that is how we create the golden age of harmony. We create it. We are responsible for creating that. And now that we are in this new age of Aquarius, this is the time that it is meant to happen. And you better believe that as we do this and as we become this and as we achieve it, we are going to get pushback. There are going to be roadblocks along the way. There are going to be people who try to prevent you and us and we in oneness from achieving this, but they cannot stop us. We have made too much progress. So when you see the threats, when you see the bans coming, when you see our rights being taken away more and more, that is a sign of progress that we are achieving what we are here to achieve. So rise up, keep going, keep uniting, because that is a sign that we are making progress, that we are winning. Keep rising up. Let go of your hate. Let go of your judgments, let go of your prejudices. All of that shit needs to be healed and alchemized so that we can unite together with divine power and we can overcome the darkness that has been ruling this planet for centuries now. You cannot alchemize the darkness with your light if you, as the light, are not willing to infiltrate the very darkness that you want to be removed or transformed from this planet. Light workers, light warriors go into the darkness and they alchemize it. They don't run from it. They don't pretend like it isn't there. They don't pretend like it doesn't exist. They transform it with the power of the divinity that they are. That is exactly what we are here to do. And that is not some inspirational speech that I am offering to you. It is an actual energetic process that light warriors are taught how to do. It is what you become by doing what I always call, quote unquote, the real work. We need more people to do the real work. And we need more people to join together, that when times are hard and scary and in scarcity and you're in trauma and you're going through whatever shit you're going through, that right there is a period of darkness where you become the light and you dissolve all your wounds, all your fears, all your programs, all your blocks, all your unhealed stuff. That is what it means to do the real work. And that is how you transform yourself into a person of pure divine power who can alchemize anything. That is precisely what I am here to help teach people how to do. That is precisely what I teach and train and certify our mystical life coaches to do, so they can do that for other people. How do you fight the darkness? You don't. You enter into the center of it energetically, and you alchemize the vibrational frequency of it into the divine power that you are vibrating at. And to learn how to do that is a process. It takes willingness and devotion. And we are calling more people to be a part of that, of becoming an actual spiritual warrior, not just because it sounds cute on your social media platforms and you like to call yourself one. It is hard work, it is willingness, and it is devotion. And yet, that's what it takes when you have governments banning platforms that try to keep us separated and at a lower level of consciousness. Let's prove to them that it isn't going to work, even if they ban it. Come join us at Masters of Self University. And one of the things that we've done at Masters of Self University, we've just opened up a platform. We have a Discord community where all of our students go, are mystical life coaches who are earning that certification to become certified coaches. We have platforms that we use on Discord. That's just one of the, social media platforms that we use for our business, in order to have a community for our students to have questions and get extra guidance and connect with one another, etc. So we use that. We use it for our corporation with each other so that all of our coaches are connected. And we use it for our students so all the students are connected. We've now just created a Discord channel to the community, the global community. Now, here's what I'm going to invite you. This is not to take the place of TikTok by any means. Don't even think that. I'm not in any way, shape, or form trying to imply that. What I am extending an invitation to, and we will put the Discord link below, so you can see it below. If you're watching this on YouTube, if you're not and you're listening this elsewhere, we'll make sure we have the Discord link. Jump on YouTube and grab the TikTok Ban YouTube podcast and get the link there. Whatever you do, go find the Discord link. Okay. We are going to put the link so that you can access this. Now, here's why. If TikTok actually gets banned, let's have a place, a community where we can all go, we can connect, we can still communicate with one another. This was in our meeting just this morning. Let's create that space for people to go so we are still united. And then guess what? If the ban gets lifted, we go back to TikTok, great. If no ban happens, which is, of course, that's the energy we want to put out, that the ban doesn't go through, then we just continue to use TikTok and whatever else you use is beautiful. But if it does get banned and we all jump, enough of us jump together in one community, then we are still connected. And then together as a community, we can help each other say, hey, what's the next best platform? What platform is being created to replace TikTok, for example? And then we could all go to the same platform together. Okay. I won't pretend to have that platform. I don't do that. And I won't pretend that Discord is the platform for that. It doesn't function in the same way as the, TikTok app. But let's do that. Let's join. Let's all collect together in a community where at least together we can say, okay, here's a new platform. Let's go there. And in the meantime, use your energy, open your hearts, and just know there are petitions to sign. There are phone calls, numbers to call. Please call them. Call the numbers. Guess where you can find them? Yeah, TikTok. So many people. I saw it just today. I started a petition. There's a phone number. Here's the number you want to call and complain and blah. I saved them because I didn't have time to follow through with that in the moment. I saved them. You better believe I'm going back to them when I have time, when I'm done with meetings and clients. And I will be calling those numbers and I will be signing those petitions. I will be putting my name on those petitions. Do not think together collectively our energy won't make a difference. Let's do everything that we can. And I invite you all, go to the Discord link, jump on it. We just opened it. We just created it. Jump on that, at least so we are together somewhere else. And from that place and space, if this does get banned, then we'll make the next move together, united together. Together we stand and together we will rise above. This is a revolution. This is a global revolution. Spiritual awakening globally is a revolution to alchemize and heal the darkness on this planet. So join together and be a part of this revolution. Truly, to be a part of a revolution like this means to heal yourself. You cannot be a part of what an actual revolution is if you're not healing yourself, not a spiritual revolution. So it requires you to want to heal yourself, to elevate, to grow, to become a more magnificent, more powerful version of yourself. And with that power, we unite together, we heal more, we elevate even higher. They cannot keep us separated. Even if they ban this, we will find a way to come back together on some other platform. So let's do it. Unite with us. We invite you. Thank you for listening. Subscribe. Please, for the love of God and for the love of TikTok, please share this particular episode with everybody you know. Please share it. Make sure you subscribe. And I hope we'll see you on our Discord channel. And I hope I'll see you in the next episode. Thanks for listening. Sending all the love to you from the universe. And we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.